Hello, I'm Laura Calder and this is my husband Peter, and we're back with our first video of 2022 where we cover topics of the domestic and social sort. It sort of goes along with my newsletter, which you can sign up for if you like on lauracalder.com. Otherwise, you can just sign up here for this newsletter where you chat with me and Peter.
Should we apologize for having taken so long to get a new video up?
Never explain, never explain, never explain.
Never explain, never apologize. Okay.
But it's the first nice day, so here we are outside, and it's much nicer to shoot outside.
Under the tree of knowledge.
Under the tree of knowledge. And the questions have been piling up, so...
Let's get to it.
I'm going to read them this time.
All right.
Someone called Penny Feltner has written in to say that with her spouse, she's a 30-something nomad who's just settled into her first apartment in a new city. And I guess like us, she's sort of into minimal cooking equipment. But she wants recommendations for entertaining essentials. What are things that kind of do double duty, little purchases that go a long way? Mm-hmm. So I've been giving that some thought. Have you?
Yes, but you should start because you clearly have more thought.
Well, I just bought on travels 3 little pottery bowls that kind of have nice trees on them. I always think a little trio like that is perfect because 3 appetizers is all you really need, like radishes and sausages or pistachios. Maybe you have potato chips, olives, and stuffed peppers or something, but these 3 little bowls just give you 3 and it's out on the table really easy. It takes away the thinking. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. How about you?
But an attractive cutting board is very useful because you can use it as a cutting board, but also as sort of a charcuterie plate or delivery system of some kind. That's always
serving
nice.
Platter for canapes of some kind. Yeah. I also have a metal plate, which I bought at Merci in Paris. It's very plain looking, but that's practical because it doesn't break. And so when people ask you to bring something to a party, you have to cart it across town. It's really good to have something that, well, as I said, A, won't break, but B, if you leave it behind, it's not the end of the world, It wasn't your grandmother's precious thing. So I think something like that's really good to have.
The Parisian bistro glasses, those are perfect for everything, for drinking cheap Greek wine or expensive French wine.
And coffee you can drink out of them.
Water
and everything, but they're pretty indestructible. So, I'd have 12 of them. You can just haul them out anytime.
Really useful. Yeah.
Really useful.
And they're different sizes. And even if you want to go that far, there's colors. You can get different colors.
Yeah. I like the standard size, the plain one though. And the final thing I was going to say, and actually I don't have trays. What I need. Trays. Trays are great for when you have to set the table, you can take everything out. When you have to clear, you can carry it back. You can put drinks on it.
So why don't we have trays? We don't have any trays.
I don't know what our problem is. Why don't we have trays?
Yeah.
It was just my birthday and I didn't get a tray. Anyway, I hope that helps, Penny. But if anyone else has ideas for really great, versatile, entertaining equipment, please tell us in the comments below because we all need to know. Now, I've lost the name. This is a question from before Christmas, and I've lost the name of the person who asked it, but I loved it. And it was someone who was having long stay guests coming and dreading it because every time people come and stay for a long time with this person, she said she felt like she turned into everyone's chef and butler and lady's maid and housekeeper and tourist guide. So how do you handle that?
The first and foremost rule is that breakfast is sacred personal time and that the host should not be bothered at breakfast. What you do is you put out all the breakfast foods and the coffee machine and the coffee and the filters or whatever system you're using, and you tell them to help themselves, and I will be downstairs sometime after 10 o'clock, and if you want to get up earlier, you know what to do. But it really is the most personal time of the day. If you have to get up and make people breakfast, and all,
don't set that precedent or you're toast.
Show them where the stuff is, tell them to get up when they want, you'll get up when you want, you'll have some quiet time in your own room before you have to come downstairs. That's the number one way of surviving long-term guests.
We have a friend who says, cocktails are at 5 o'clock, see you then. And I think he even says that the night before because the message is really, you're on your own. And I think as a guest, I'm perfectly happy to entertain myself, but I think some people are more needy. but you really have to try to be independent and become more like a family member than a guest when you're staying for that length of time.
Yeah, and to that end, you had a good idea by creating a house book, like a book of places to go to shop, the pharmacy, where's the pharmacy, where's the
How
coffee
to work the
shop,
internet, where to go for lunch.
where are the restaurants, so that people can just have this documented information on hand without you having to constantly answer questions about where's the nearest coffee shop, or where, if people are coming for a long time, it's good for them to have it, and they can take care of themselves a lot better.
It doesn't mean you never do anything with people when they're staying with you, obviously, but I think dinner at night together, great, but more than that, you'll all go nuts after a few days even.
Yeah.
So it's encouraging independence.
Encourage independence.
And
Yes.
not being afraid to be for that
Right.
if you're the guest.
Right.
And the final question is a tricky one from Catherine Burt. She says she's curious about our opinion on gas versus induction because they're about to renovate and have to make that decision.
Are we too late on this one? It's just like a year old.
I hope
They
no.
already
No,
know-
this is last week.
So
It's a
good.
stove question.
Well, I only have one opinion on that because I've never used induction. I don't have it. I don't have anything against it. I know that it boils water very, very quickly, which is useful if you want to boil water very, very quickly. But to me, the best thing in the kitchen is gas because you have so much control over it. The gas stoves today are safe. They have all kinds of features that protect you from gas leaks or from the pilot going out and all kinds of stuff. If you have water on a boil and you want to turn it to a simmer, with gas, it goes from boil to simmer instantaneously. You just, and it's suddenly, the boil goes way down. You can have so much control over the temperature you're cooking food at. With electricity, with electrical coil stoves, you have to wait for the thing to heat up. To go from a boil to a simmer is a long process. Often you got to watch it, take the lid off, put the lid back on. You got to go back and forth till it comes down to the temperature that you need. So I just am kind of adamant about it. If I could, I would have a gas stove all the time.
Well, you will be having a gas stove because that's the next kitchen. Also, you have to think about how the cooking makes you feel. And this sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's true. The other night, Peter wanted to barbecue, and it was kind of a stressful day, I guess. And the reason you wanted to barbecue and not cook on the stovetop is because of how much it relaxes you. Partly the smell of the smoke, partly the rituals of preparing the fire, partly the way you slowly have to monitor things. I mean, sous vide doesn't give you that. I don't think induction gives you that. It's so fast and instant. And I'll tell you something else, and that's that different types of heat make food taste different. And if you want to experiment, you can heat some milk in a cup in a microwave and heat some milk in a pot on a stove, including electric, and the milk will taste very different. So
There is a strange difference.
there's a strange difference. Another thing about gas is, of course, that something like a red pepper you can roast right on the flame.
That's true. Another good point. You can do that on a coil too, but it's not as good.
It's not
the same. If you want to blacken the skin on a red pepper, you just put it right on the flame. It's really convenient. I'm really not aware of what is available in induction. You can get a whole stovetop that's induction.
Yeah, you can, and you have to get special pots,
Oh, you have to
unless
have
that's
the spot.
changed, but it used to be true. And it's really fast. So, I mean, if you boil lobsters every day, maybe it makes sense.
Maybe induction has a lot of control that I'm not aware of. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, another thing to watch out for when you're buying a stove is knobs are so much better than digital buttons.
Oh, yes.
Because with a digital thing, it says you want to go up to heat 10. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, blah, blah. Whereas with a knob, you just go boonk, and there it is. So
and you also, the thing where you have to set the oven to 350, and then you have to hit start, and you forget to hit start.
it's just too
Knobs.
overly complicated. So the simplest, most basic thing. But if anyone out there has a different opinion, please say below, because we too will be in the stove market before too long.
One of these days, yeah.
So, thank you for your questions, and thank you for any answers anyone listening can help give so that we can keep a conversation going around these things. And any questions of a domestic or social sort, you can send in and we'll answer them. And we hope you'll subscribe and join us next time, and also subscribe to the newsletter on lauracalder.com. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.